The Marshall Plan we had on the road, FAU failed. Sorry, it was just another road loss, and here we are. No Conference USA championships in front of us. Another loss on the road. We still don't know how to win on the road. But now we come back for homecoming against the UAB Blazers for some retribution from last year. This is the FAU Football Fancast, October 29, 2014. I'm the king of podcasts on Twitter. My name is George, a very long-time FAU season ticket holder, along with my brother, Andy, who's on Twitter at FAU Wise Guys. And damn, when you had such a good start, second half against Marshall, things kind of fell apart.
Yeah, and we're. I mean, we'll get to that game in a second. We're gonna go to our.
Can't hear the microphone, by the way.
All right.
That'll help.
We're gonna get to full college football notes first, and then we'll get to ours.
Yeah. So, I think things. You know what it is? The notes. Chris Fowler on game day this past Saturday, he was trying to defend the fact that ESPN and the news writers and all, there's like this whole thing where the SEC, they just get to have all the teams up at the top of the polls, and the Pac-12, the Big 12, and Big East or the AAC, all the other conferences are being left behind. What do you think?
Hey, listen, they're going to eventually knock themselves out, so all those other teams have to do is just hang in there. I mean, this weekend it's going to be number 3 versus number 4. Auburn's going to play Mississippi State. They're going to knock each other out. So eventually, the SEC, they'll get one team, maybe 2 teams in there. So I wouldn't really worry about it if I was another conference that had a powerhouse team, but we'll see.
Do you think anything with the strength of schedule? Do we kind of take for granted SEC that it's just automatically they inherit the strength of schedule, and that's what it always is? Or don't we think Pac-12 has a pretty good schedule themselves, right?
They do, but I mean, if you were a voter, would you vote for the SEC teams, or would you vote for Pac-12 teams? I mean, look at the games going on. I mean, I know. I'm like you. We hang out at the very end of the night and watch the late games in the Pac-12, and they're good games. But the SEC is the Cinderella conference right now. You got to take that respect away from them if you want to be called one of the better conferences.
I mean, there's teams. Okay, when you had at the point Notre Dame, they had a close game with Florida State, but look at how far they dropped. They're not even going to have a chance. They might not be. They're going to be outside looking at the playoffs. And Oregon the same way, and they had a pretty close game, right? I mean, there's just some games where it's like
it's going to be a log jam to get in there. But you know what? The only thing they're going to say is you should have stayed undefeated if you wanted to assure yourself a spot in the top 4. So good game this good game tonight going on is the FSU Louisville game. That's a interesting ball game. So well, I'm not sure what the score is on that one, but
Well, because you got to think about the fact that with Miami, that's always a good gauge. Miami, they thought they were going to look at something pretty good when it comes to Louisville, but they got, whipped pretty good when they took them on. And Louisville, they've taken their lumps too. It's just a matter of, FSU, I don't think there's anybody else left for them really to. There's not really any major hurdles to take. And I think people have been talking about after the Notre Dame game, Florida State has a pretty clear path to making the playoffs for sure.
Well, hey, listen, it's going to be wide open, like I said. There'll be games, there'll be teams all over the place ready to get in. So, one-loss teams, they're a dime a dozen right now. So, looking back on our game from Saturday, gotta tell you, man, what really changed the ball game, don't you think that pass interference on Smith and the return interception got taken away, just kind of deflated the sales a little bit?
I don't understand where it comes from with some of the calls. I mean, the DeJon Smith play I didn't think was ticky-tack at best. I don't even think it was that. And then like you said, and then there was the return that was called back. It's just, I'm sorry. I'm a fan, and I'm going to just think that the referees somehow have it in for us on some plays because it's a home
I don't
stadium.
think they have. I don't think they have it in for us. But I think that was. I think those are just bad calls. I mean, there's no way. No way that was pass interference. I don't even know what they were looking at. But I mean, there was a bunch of things in that game. But let me tell you something. Number one, holy cow, do we get gashed up the middle or what? Man,
47.
I mean, if somebody could tackle that kid, I don't know. I just thought that those three runs just dismantled us. I mean, to get one of those on you, and to just get another one and another one, it is just disheartening. And I thought we came back from the first one pretty well. We answered back, but you just can't keep giving up huge plays like that. You're just gonna dishearten your team every time they go out there.
Didn't it look like the same play? Wasn't it the exact same play?
Yeah, it was just off center whammo. So, I mean, there was a couple of like I think we should have kicked the field goal, to get it within one score towards the end there. I understand that you're going up against a ranked team and you really want to make a splash, and you might as well take a chance. At that point, you're a 3-4 team. You're trying to get some movement. All right. But I got to tell you, when you get chopped up the middle like that, like we did, and then people at the end, and you talk to people, they tell you, oh, it was a good effort, or they give you that it was closer than the score shows, or they give you that hung in there with a top 25 team. Listen, you got to grow out of that kind of crap. I mean, you really want to be, considered one of the big boys in the conference, you need to play some ball. And I guarantee you, every player in that locker room thought they should have won that game if they would have just made a couple of tackles on one of those sprint-aways that guy did. So, I'm tired of people giving me that whole, they look pretty good. You know what, man, look pretty good. I'm getting tired of that already. It's kind of stale, has a smell to it. We really need to get over that. And I understand Charlie Partridge needs time to change the culture, but I got to tell you, stuff like this, you just can't accept it. I mean, you have to stay the course. Don't give in to the whole, it was a moral victory. Moral victories, can't have any more moral victories anymore. We could contend in this conference. So,
but going for the field goal, isn't it just conservative play calling? And that's just not the MO of the team.
It's conservative play calling, and you're right. And Charlie Partridge, we're finding out, is kind of a gunslinger.
He's a gambler.
Yeah, he's a gambler. He went for it on 4th down multiple times last week. Week before, I mean. So it doesn't surprise me, but I would have liked to have seen the field goal there. I really think that we were playing a heads-up game with these guys. We were doing well. I think that gave them a little bit of momentum. So, listen, I don't really mind it. I'm not upset at the call. I just thought that we should have kicked it. But that's not to say that that's the correct call. That's just what I thought.
You know how the Carolina Panthers in the NFL, they have Riverboat Ron Rivera? Maybe we should just call Coach Partridge, play your hand Partridge.
Yeah, I mean, he is a poker hand Partridge, boy. He is. He's a gambler, man. I like gamblers, but, at the same time, I think there are situations that you don't have to. But I don't.
Okay.
I disagree with the call, but that doesn't necessarily mean that I thought it was a bad call. I mean, either one is okay. He's got a better feel for the game down there on the field than anybody watching TV would. So
that first half on the road, again, a very good start, and I just don't know what it is that keeps just shooting ourselves in the foot and where we just don't get ourselves
we need
to be.
We just need to learn how to win, and it's something that coach needs time to do. So, looking ahead, UAB coming to town, another one of those score a lot, give a lot of point teams. What do you think? What do you think we're getting at the stadium this weekend?
I mean, I still think, because it's a homecoming game, I still think we're gonna, at least the students will show up for a Saturday night game as opposed to a Saturday afternoon game, and make up for like when we had all those high school students that were there. I could see that. It's, there's post Halloween, you got a little bit of people who are going to be like out partying and all, and bit of a. I think maybe you'll have some people that want to relax and they'll enjoy a good game in the stadium. And also, remember, how many more games do we have left? College football's starting to wind down. We're into November. We know that by the end of the month, football, as we getting the chance to enjoy a good game, Also, the weather, the cold front's supposed to be coming through. We're supposed to be getting into the 70s, so you might need to bring a jacket on Saturday night.
Yep. Maybe, man. It's going to be a nice night out, you know.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, and UAB is not a team to laugh at. I mean, they did beat up on North Texas. North Texas having a bad year. They did, you know, outlast Western Kentucky, who was up on us, you know, until we came back. So they do have a pretty good running game. You know, I read somewhere they run, you know, about 200 yards a game, which is not good for us, especially if they go up the middle. So,
no, and I remember the last couple of years we play them and we haven't played well against them. You know, their quarterback, whoever it is usually pretty agile. Another spread offense, another spread quarterback that can run around if they got to make some plays. And usually a big guy just like a Jaquez Johnson.
Listen, the good thing is if they run for 200 yards a game, and if they saw that game from last week, I guarantee you we're going to see that play again and again and again on Saturday. So at least we'll have a chance to fix that problem. But you know, I'm just disappointed that we didn't get that problem fixed in game. I mean, I can't believe that we didn't get that problem fixed after the first one, and say, listen, we can't have that happen again. They spread us out. If they spread us out and that happens, this has got to happen. If we don't have a solution for a play that simple, man, I mean, I just think that we just got caught asleep a couple times. But
took the momentum of the game.
I mean,
three scores that were like turnovers to us.
I mean, he just thrashed us, man. I mean, took half the field 3 times, just boom, 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 boom. I mean, you know, hey,
big plays you can't overcome.
Listen, I mean, it'll be good to go home. You know, we suck on the road, so you know, it'll be good to get some home cooking, I guess. These guys play better at home.
I mean, something's got to give. Where look, I'd like to at least see one road win this year, just because it's like. I mean, it just makes us look so young that we're not able to adapt to another field and a different environment against an opponent. That bothers me. It's frustrating.
Well, I mean, yeah. Listen, we had 2 of them were against monster teams. One of them was a really far trip to Wyoming, which we let go. Another one was in a freaking monsoon. And then, you know, so this one is really the one that upset me because I thought we were in the game. I thought we had a good chance. I thought we were playing well at the beginning, and we just let it go on a few plays. Let the guy hit a couple home runs, game's over.
The magnitude of the game would have been an upset. You would have said, hey, we beat a ranked team. We're still in the Conference USA hunt. A lot of things we could have been taking positive. No.
I mean, we could still get to the 500 record, winning record, get to a bowl game. But, man, I got to tell you, if we play like we did the other day and just let big home runs get knocked on us like that, we're not going anywhere. So
no.
You know, I do like the red helmets though. They're not very lucky, I guess. Did we play? Oh no, they won a game earlier, right? That was a.
Well, they played. They had the 2 games, UTSA and Western Kentucky. They played with the red helmets and won.
All right, so they got some luck at home. So wear the red helmets at home, I guess.
But man, I mean, you know. Keep trying to get better. So you say to yourself, like, I mean, and look, this is not, again, a home game that we feel like, you know, good about, you know, homecoming, good crowd. UAB, they've kind of like, you know, juggled playing against us. It's been win-loss, win-loss.
Oh, yeah.
We've never been like dominant against this team, so that you got to keep in mind.
All right, man. Well,
yep,
guys,
that's going to do it.
Yep, got to see you guys out there. 7:00 homecoming. No excuse not to be there. You're an FAU alumni. You're an FAU graduate. You know, no excuse for you not to be there. Get a ticket. Go to the game. Try to go to as many festivities as you can. It's the only way that our university is going to grow and get bigger. You know, everybody talks about we want to be more like, you know, like the Gators and have traditions like Florida State or have traditions like this school, that school. The only way you do it is if you go to these events and you go to these kind of games. And that's it.
I mean, the team getting that kind of support is going to be helpful. You know, what a great night to watch football above everything else. And, you know, look, if you haven't even just had a chance to go and watch an FAU game, I can't tell you, we've watched nothing but great, exciting, offensive-packed ball games every time at the stadium, and this is not going to be any exception. So come to the game, 7 o'clock this Saturday. We're going to be there. We hope to see you there, too. In the meantime, on Twitter, I'm at Kick a Podcast. My brother is online on Twitter at FAU Wise Guys. We're on Facebook. We're on Google+. the show. You find it here on YouTube each and every week. Look for FAU Wise Guys. And until next time, go Owls. We will see you. And happy Halloween, everybody. And we'll hope we get a win up against those Blazers. Take care.